Hello, my name is Lisa James and I'm here with Fred Clark. Fred was president of CHHA between 1996 and 1998. We're here so that he can share some of the memorable events that he recalls from his time with the CHHA Association.
Thank you very much, Lisa. Probably one of the milestones in the history of CHHA was the 1992 conference in Richmond, in which we introduced youth to the CHHA organization. We invited the parents, the educators and caregivers of hearing impaired children to participate in our conference, which was held in Richmond. We had 350 guests.
And you wanted to mention the contributions of Betty McGilvery.
Yes, after the conference we had some money left over to promote branches in British Columbia. And we were successful actually in creating new branches by traveling around the province and visiting different centers. And when we were finished, actually we had 14 active branches in British Columbia. Since then, of course, branches have gradually diminished because of the difficulty we have in finding leadership. So today we do not have 14 branches, but we did well, and Betty was certainly part of that effort.
And Nora Brown was also influential in Newfoundland?
Yes, Nora Brown, she was a board member from Newfoundland. It's the late Nora Brown, by the way. And she was very concerned about being on the board of CHHA, but CHHA did not have a group organized in Newfoundland. So while Nora was visiting us one day with her friends Eric and Ella McIntosh, she pulled me aside and asked me, as chapters and branch chairperson for national, how she could go about organizing CHHA in Newfoundland. So we formulated a possibility of Nora going back to Newfoundland and rounding up these people whom we felt were eligible to serve on an executive for a chapter. So actually the Newfoundland chapter was formulated in Tsawwassen on the west coast. 1 year later, Al Bowden, president of the day, he presented the Newfoundland chapter charter when he visited St. John's.
And then in 1996, you were elected president of CHHA.
Yes, 1996 I was elected president of CHHA. I ran against Joan Miller, a very fine person and a very hard-working, dedicated person to CHHA. I defeated Joan by a very narrow margin. So narrow that I thought perhaps we could split the year. She would do 50% or do half and half. But the task force came along, and unfortunately that deed never got done. But I congratulate Joan in helping to keep CHHA alive, particularly in Caledonia, Hamilton, Ontario, where she lives.
And just before we get into the task force, there was also somebody else who you wanted to give mention to, the Winifred Corey Award.
Yes, Winifred Corey was a very hard-working hearing person in Saskatoon. Her sister was Jean Pelchet, who was hard of hearing. Winifred, they called her Freddie, attributed a lot of time to teach people about hearing loss and how to manage it. The Lynn Meeting in Calgary initiated the Winifred Corey Award. I went to Saskatoon one cold February day to introduce the award to Winifred, who was at that time in the hospital, and so that she knew that we had created an award in her honor as a hard-working individual for CHHA.
Good. And then during your time when you were president of CHHA, there was a task force that happened. Yes,
Janice McNamara, and I have to congratulate Janice McNamara for all the work that she did for CHHA. She phoned one day to say that a task force was being established by the Liberal government and that CHHA should be involved. As it turned out, I was appointed observer to the task force. and as a representative of CHHA, I sat at the front table, which was quite gratifying and quite an honor. And we toured every province of Canada to listen to consultations about disability issues across Canada. One of the main events, I guess, my biggest accomplishment on that one with the task force was the recognition that audiologists should be allowed to do hearing examinations for the purpose of disability tax credits.
Right. And so the Newfoundland chapter, the audiologists being able to do disability tax credits, and youth. Those were the three big legacies that you feel?
To me, they were legacies because up until 1992, it was a seniors organization. Today, 2012, we have youth actually participating on our board of directors, and we have youth summer camps in Newfoundland and British Columbia. Youth today in CHHA is thriving. Good.
Well,
yes, thank you very much, and congratulations to CHHA on their 30th anniversary, and wish them all good luck, and hope that you will keep me in the loop with the sound waves from Newfoundland, the loop from British Columbia, and of course the Listen magazine from National. Thank you very much.